preview for you guys. Special little unboxing that Wizkids sent to us. And that is the Black Widow motorcycle. So this is for the upcoming Black Widow movie. There is also a gravity feed set attached to this. But for right now, I wanted to show you guys the motorcycle. So, oh my gosh, it comes in its own little backdrop. Okay. I'm gonna struggle opening this, I'm sorry. More complicated than it needed to be. So this is the Black Widow, and she looks absolutely fantastic riding this motorcycle here. And then she does actually have a double card. It just shows that she's got a lot of powers on the front. So her first trait, espionage secret mission. Hypersonic speed. When Black Widow uses it and hits with a close attack, if she's on a theme team or your starting force has 2 characters from the Black Widow set, after resolutions, you may place the hit character in any square she moved through after the attack. If you do, deal them 1 penetrating damage. Awesome. So basically, she's just running people over with her motorcycle. She has her second trait, she has 3 of them. Just enough gas in the tank. Free. Once per game, half speed, then move. When Black Widow leaves the map, generate a heavy object in one of her squares, protected pulse wave. So basically, if you knock her out, she's going to leave debris behind. And her final trait here is time to get off the bike. During force construction, you may include a character named Black Widow of 75 points or less on your sideline. The first time Black Widow would be KO'd, instead replace her with that Black Widow on its last non-KO click, then roll a d6 and heal that Black Widow half the result. This game, that Black Widow can't be healed by any other way, protected pulse wave. So that does give you the chance to basically just ditch the bike, bring out an actual Black Widow. That is fantastic. I love that. She does have the Avengers Initiative team ability, which is ignore, hindering for both line of fire and movement. She is 75 points, 5 range, indomitable. She's got sidestep and precision strike for the first half of her dial, as well as super senses and range combat expert. And then the tail end of her dial there has charge, incapacitate, energy shield, and shape change. That is fantastic. She also ignores characters for movement. As well as the team ability that allows her to ignore hindering. That's awesome. I'm really looking forward to getting to play this and to see the choice of Black Widows that you can actually use when she hops off the bike coming from this Black Widow set. Should be coming out soon. I will put the release date down below on the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. And we will see. Oh no!
They let us unbox the whole countertop display, Amber.
Oh no! Oh! It's been years. I thought I was done.
Ready to unbox some Black Widow movie set, courtesy of Wizkids, Amber? Are you gonna make it? Oh,
yes.
Don't sit back. You got some on your back there. All right.
Guess what, guys? Wizkids also gave us gravity feed of Black Widow.
So this is the Black Widow movie set, which release date. This is before the release date. Movie comes out in May 1st, I think it is. So really awesome to look forward to this. Just a heads up. Spoilers ahead, possibly.
Yes.
Because these movie sets, sometimes the powers will give stuff away. So this is going to be like a complete video. We already saw the Black Widow bike. We're going to see what we pull in this, and then we're going to cut immediately to our my piece by piece review of it. Because these sets are pretty small.
Yeah.
You ready to do this?
Yes,
All right.
I am.
So, first pack, dibs. because you get to do that. I got Taskmaster, already a good start. I love it. All right. Mission objective, honing my skills. When another character within line of fire rolls a single d6, you may place a die on this card with that result, replacing any die already here. When Taskmaster would use a single d6, you may instead remove the d6 from this card and use that result. Very cool. Kind of reflects his whole, I look at your powers and copy you, because Blades, Claws, and Super Senses are those kinds of powers that would use those particular dice. Go ahead, Amber.
Alright, I got Taskmaster as well.
Is it the same one? It is not the same one.
Ooh, even better.
Mine's number 7. This is number 15.
Okay, so this is the rare Taskmaster. And his trait, mission objective, I am the mission. Leadership, but only if Taskmaster is on a theme, team, or your starting force has 2 other characters from the Black Widow set. When he uses it and succeeds, he may also remove an action token from a friendly character with the task force keyword, including himself. He has an attack power, the Panther's moves, and his claws, Blaze Claws, Fangs, Flurry, free, make a close attack, but only to target an opposing character that missed Taskmaster since your last turn. And his defense power here, hundreds of perfectly replicated fighting styles. Toughness, willpower. At the beginning of your turn, choose combat reflexes, energy shield deflection, or mastermind. Taskmaster can use the chosen power until your next turn.
Cool. He ignores characters for line of fire.
Yes, he does.
Very neat. Show them this Taskmaster.
Alright. Taskmaster.
Give him a peek at that card. Bam! 75 points, eh? Cool. Alright. My next pull was the Black Widow, the common, with Avengers and Spy keyword. Important thing, shifting focus. Black Widow. And then she's got espionage, misdirection, and misinformation. Leadership, if Black Widow's on a team, or is on a theme team, or your starting force has 2 other characters from this set. Opposing characters on the map, more than 6 squares from her, can't be placed within 6 squares of her. And then she got special attack power, gives her telekinesis, deploying assets to trouble spots across the planet. But only to place other friendly characters of equal or lower points. When she uses it, choose Empower or Enhancement. The place character can choose to choose... This is a common! Wow! Alright, we're already off to a really good start with this set.
Alright, Task Force Henchman. Taskmaster gets Henchman.
Taskmaster gets the Task Force.
So his trait, mission objective, eliminate target. At the beginning of the game, for all characters with this trait, choose an opposing character or team ability. When targeting that character or opposing characters that can use that team ability, Task Force Henchman modifies attack +1.
Cool.
He is 25 points.
That's about Henchman level. Yeah, I'd expect no less. Alright. Next up, we have Red Guardian. 2 sides of the... or celebrity and soldier keywords. 2 sides of the coin. Red Guardian does not count against theme teams and can use willpower if your starting force includes a character named Black Widow, and the special defense power is defend and invulnerability, which she has on the first 2 clicks. This is a common. Very, very neat, solid dude in Red Guardian. Kind of like a Russian Captain America, I think.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, I nerded out for a second. Alright, we have Black Widow number 9. She is in a white suit. And she has shifting focus. And then her trait, espionage, uncertain alliances. If Black Widow is on a theme team or your starting force has 2 other characters from the Black Widow set, an opposing character is generated or placed on the map from the sideline within 6 squares of her after resolution, both you and your opponent roll a d6. If your result is higher, give that character 2 action tokens.
Oh!
Woo!
Wow! And that's part of a shifting focus package, which is pretty solid.
Yep. And then she has an attack power, Who Can You Trust? Smoke Cloud as free. Opposing characters occupying her Smoke Cloud markers can't use improved abilities or team abilities. Or team abilities.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. 75.
Range is 0,
Is the other
so
71
she's going to get the
75?
6 range from Smoke Cloud.
Yep, they're both 75. Cool. All right. Off to a good start. You're going to have to pull again because I just pulled a Task Force Henchman. So, unfortunately, we've seen this one already. So.
Okay.
Which happens in these sets. There's a couple commons.
Widow's Assassin. This looks like Black Widow. It is not. It's listed as real name Various.
This is generic.
Yeah.
Other widows.
The trait Espionage Apex of Training. At the beginning of your turn, if Widow's Assassin is on a theme team or your starting force has 2 other characters from the Black Widow set, you may choose a standard power that a friendly character has printed on their card. Until your next turn, Widow's Assassin can use that power. Traded, Shape Change, and Stealth.
These Black Widows are really good. I'm just saying here right now. They're really good.
They have an opening click of Running Shot, Penetrating Psychic Blast, Super Senses, and Range Combat Expert.
Well, I guess you're going to be the only one talking for a little bit, Amber. Because I've also pulled the Taskmaster we've already pulled. Common, I think generally in one of these sets you get, there's 20 figures. You usually get an entire set.
Mm-hmm.
Plus 4 extra commons generally. So I've already pulled 2 of our extra commons.
Right. So here is 001 Black Widow. Was that the one that you...
No, I pulled 005 Black Widow.
Okay. So Shifting Focus. And her Espionage is Technology and Training. If Black Widow is on a theme team or your starting force has 2 other characters from the set, opposing characters can't use improved targeting abilities to target her or adjacent friendly characters. Her stealth is staying stealth. And she ignores characters for line of fire. Nice. She has Perplex. This is Stealth, Precision Strike, and Perplex. She's dominable.
Just worth mentioning, too, nice. Figure number 5 also had the Avengers Initiative. That one has the Avengers Initiative. And the one in white also had the Avengers Initiative.
Yeah.
So they seem to be bringing that back with this set. All right. Spoiler alert for anybody who's been watching the trailers and hasn't put it together yet. The blonde is Yelena Belova. And she's got... Her keywords are widows and spy.
Yes. Widows is a keyword that has been showing up.
Spoiler alert, she doesn't have the same... Anyway, Welcome to Russia is her special movement power, which gives her running shot and stealth. I couldn't not do it in that accent. Espionage Disinformation. If you meet the requirements for espionage, which are theme team or 2 characters, has 2 other characters from the set. Opposing characters in the 6 squares in line of fire can't have their combat values positively modified. Very cool. 50-point character with 5 clicks. We'll talk about her, and very soon you'll see her and her dial very soon. I promise.
All right. This is the Red Guardian.
You got the rare Red Guardian, Amber.
Yeah.
I got the common one.
Okay.
You have a conversation to have.
I do. So, he has a trait fighting an entire squad. Close. Make a close attack targeting up to 3 characters within 5 squares in line of fire, regardless of adjacency. Instead of normal damage, he deals his printed damage to each hit target. Printed damage starts off with 3. He also has a damage power, not just a knockoff. Leadership. When Red Guardian uses it and succeeds, modify his combat values, except damage +1 until your next turn. If he failed, an opponent chooses attack or defense, and he modifies that combat value +1 until your next turn.
Cool. I like him. I like Red Guardian just in general. Just his whole aesthetic in the movie trailers I've seen. That dad bod Captain America. I got another Yelena Belova, but it's a different one. This one's the rare. This one's got Widow, Assassin, and Spy as its keywords. The Espionage doesn't follow the characters on the same set because it's specifically for a theme team. If Yelena Belova is on a theme team, your maximum number of theme probability control uses this game is 10.
Whoa!
Instead of 5. Her other trait, the old ways, stealth, plasticity. When Yelena Belova uses theme team probability control, she isn't given an action token. And then she's got defense, super senses, special defense power. She's indomitable. She is 75 points. Now, unfortunately, her keywords are Widows, Assassin, and Spy. But we'll talk about it later. That doesn't necessarily mean she can't be part of more than one keyword theme team. No, I'm not talking about Steve Rogers. Chill out. Go ahead.
All right. I have number 5, Black Widow.
All right. Time to find out if I get to talk. I got number 13, Black Widow. This one's got nunchucks. Is that nunchuck? No, it's like that's her stun baton that's just bent. My bad. Shifting focus, Avenger spy keywords, and then her espionage is bait and switch, where if she meets all of the requirements, not just the theme team, but theme team or 2 other characters with this thing, both. If she hits an opposing character that's equipped, both you and the opponent roll a d6. If your result is higher, equip that opposing equipment to a friendly character, even if it has equipped friendly. And she's got a special attack power, Quake. When Black Widow uses it, after resolutions, give each hit character an action token. She's got that on all of her clicks, and she's indomitable. Well, I guess all of them will be indomitable with the shifting focus.
I love these Black Widows.
You know what? They really managed to nail one thing about a character with like a limited character pool. Because they've gotten shifting focus, you get to be creative with it.
Yeah, absolutely. Number 8, Red Guardian.
That's the one I already picked. Yeah. So next up, we have figure number 11, Widow's Spy. Did you pull this one already?
Nope.
This looks different. This is a rare one. Widow's Spy has espionage, find their weakness and use it. She can use outwit, but only to target adjacent characters. So if you meet the qualities for the espionage in this set, espionage in this set being, of course, characters on a theme team or 2 other characters from the set. And then hiding in plain sight, stealth. Lines of fire to Widow's Spy are blocked if she's adjacent to printed hindering or printed blocking terrain. Ignores characters for movement. Ignores hindering for line of fire. Wow, this is a pretty cool character overall.
It's a Widow.
Oh, you got the chase! Amber!
Yeah!
2 sets in a row.
Alright. So her trait, Espionage Patience. Standard friendly characters can't have their attack rolls of 10 or more re-rolled, and opposing characters targeting those characters can't have their attack rolls of 4 or less re-rolled.
Oh, savage.
She's not shifting focus.
She's a chase. She can't
she
be.
is separate.
They don't do that.
She has a second espionage trait.
Mm-hmm.
But this is called End Opportunity. Stealth, this doesn't seem to have requirements to it. Black Widow starts the game with 5 Tradecraft tokens. Free, remove a Tradecraft token to choose an opposing character within 6 squares in line of fire. Until your next turn, that character can't use a standard power unless it's displayed on their dial as a colored square, and can't have their combat values positively modified. So that basically shuts you off from anything, any powers from traits, any powers from white or
from
white
fun
boxes. Yeah.
Shuts off your opponent from having fun.
Yep. She also has a stop click. When this power is first revealed, remove all of Black Widow's Tradecraft tokens and heal her that many clicks.
Okay, keep going.
And she has damage power, leadership, outwit, free. Remove a Tradecraft token to generate a Widow's Initiate or a Widow's Recruit on click 1.
Okay, I haven't seen the Initiate yet. I have a Recruit in my hand. Did you already show the Initiate?
I thought I got something called the Assassin, but I may have gotten the Initiate.
Goodness me, we're really just Widow's Assassin, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Because I got the Widow's Recruit, oddly enough. So go ahead, show that chase.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Whoo-wee.
That's a really dense character. It's one of those things like, if you look at this, she probably seems a little squishy, but then like look at everything she does sort of situation, right?
I think the thing I like the most about that, with her Tradecraft tokens being on her stop click and being able to remove them to heal her, is that it kind of keeps her from that, like, she gets swarmed right away. So if you don't even get a chance to use those Tradecraft tokens, at least they're doing something for you.
Yeah, if you don't get a chance to use them, we're going to give you a second chance with the character. Which, going into the future of this game, is really good news. All right, so next up, we got the Widow's Recruit. And I just jumped the gun there. Espionage, get close to the target. When Widow Recruit starts the game for all characters with this trait, choose an opposing character or team ability. When Widow's Recruit uses Poison, which she has on all 3 of her 25-point dial, choose an she deals penetrating damage to that character or opposing characters that can use that team ability. Penetrating Poison is always good. Who needs to roll dice? That's for suckers.
I have a number 2 Yelena Belova.
You've seen that one already.
All
right, next up, the Widow's Initiate. Espionage the Widows. During game setup, Widow's Initiate counts as 2 characters for theme teams. Each can increase your theme team prop count by +2 and your bonus to roll for first player by +2.
Nice.
So there's a spy team building and it's happening very quietly all of a sudden here.
I like it.
And the only downside is you gotta choose Spymaster.
Okay, the white suited Black Widow again.
Okay. Wow, we got... Okay, yes, she's only number 9, so not a rare to say. And another Widow's Recruit to end it all off. So, nice. Overall, this is bonkers. It was way better than I gave it credit for. I don't know what I was
expecting out of this set, right? But I'm so glad I went into this blind because, oh my gosh.
Like, there's so much awesome going on here that's worth talking about.
I'm so excited to play all of these Black Widows.
Yeah, with the exception of the Chase, the Black Widows in this set are a complete suite of shifting focus.
Yeah.
Which comes with a lot of tools. We'll be talking about them in the dials in a second. But overall, a lot that just really floored me, and some really cool tech that if you're really smart and capable of doing things we talk about, can really go a long way. So with that, guys, thank you, Wizkids, for providing us with this chance to unbox things. We'll see you in a split second as we start to go figure by figure in this set.
All right, guys, here we go. Let's get a close look at this Black Widow stuff. The first one we have, figure number 1, when Black Widow has the Avengers and Spy keyword, ignores characters for line of fire, has shifting focus Black Widow, which we'll see on a lot of the Black Widows, I think all except for 1 or 2. Which allows you to, if this Black Widow began to turn on the map, replace her with another character with this trait. It'll be across all of the other ones. Next up, espionage, technology, and training. If Black Widow is on a theme team or on your starting force has 2 other characters from the set, opposing characters can't use improved targeting abilities to target her or adjacent friendly characters. She also has the Avengers Initiative team ability, which allows her to ignore hindering for movement and line of fire. 75 points with a perplex-filled, indomitable dial. This looks like a more stealthy, perplexing, kind of mess with your opponents and increase your character's version of Black Widow. Black Widows as a whole seem really good, and we're going to see more and more of them as we go through. So keep your eyes on that, and we'll talk more about more of the Black Widows later. But this one, like I said, this is the one that adds your perplex to your team when you need it, and also messes with opposing improved targeting, which is great when you consider she's got stealth on those first 3 clicks. All right. Next we have Yelena Belova, Widow and Spy keywords, ignores hindering from movement. Espionage disinformation is her trait. If Yelena Belova follows the instructions for most espionage, there's going to be one that's different. Where I think we talked about it earlier, but so when you meet the requirements for that, opposing characters within 6 squares in line of fire can't have their combat values modified positively. She's also got running, shot, and stealth on her special movement, which she has on her first 2 clicks with shape change as well. Willpower to go with that. She becomes a later close combat character. This is a character you only really include if you feel like you can really hit that espionage disinformation, but she's still pretty good. Interesting, simple enough character for these movie sets. You'll see there's a little bit more simplicity in a lot of cases, and that's just because they appeal to a more mass market. But overall, not a bad character. Very cool for from casual play. Next, we have the Widow's Initiate. Widows and Spy keyword. Espionage. The Widows. During game setup, Widow's Initiative counts as 2 characters for theme teams. You'll note that it doesn't have the other requirements because she specifically references theme teams. And each can increase your theme team probability control used by +2 and your bonus to roll for first player by +2. There's another character that really combines well with this. And worth noting, I believe it is Spymaster, but I might be wrong. There is a character from a previous set that does make the Spy keyword a named keyword and might be worth looking into, especially when you include it with these Widow's Initiates who just add 2 extra for 25 points on your team. So take a look to those. Overall, though, not like the greatest combatant. She's fine, but she's slow in the hindering. A moderately okay character with a really great trait. Next, we have the Task Force Henchman with the Task Force Assassin and Soldier keywords. So the Widows and Task Force named keywords have been added in this set. Mission objective, eliminate target. At the beginning of the game, for all characters with this trait, choose an opposing character or team ability. When targeting that character or opposing character character or opposing characters that can use that team ability. Task Force Henchman modifies attack by +1. So they get an extra +1 attack if they're targeting a team ability or a type of character. This is going to mostly see casual play. It's going to be great when your opponent has like an X-Men team and they'll have X-Men team abilities going. It's going to really shine in those sorts of situations, but for the most part, this is just a really okay character. All right, next up, the next piece of the Black Widow puzzle. Black Widow, Avengers Spy, Shifting Focus. Her misdirection and misinformation is her espionage that says opposing characters on the map more than 6 squares from her can't be placed within 6 squares of her. Really forces some creative use out of those people who will be using Colossal Retaliation, especially in that future. Special attack power, deploying assets to trouble spots across the planet. Telekinesis, but only to place other friendly characters of equal or lower value points. When she uses it, choose Empower or Enhancement. The placed character can use the chosen power this turn. That's a neat version of telekinesis that I never would have expected out of Black Widow. This is your support version that TKs, and look at that, has probability control. Whoops. Went through the card on you, across the entire 5 clicks of the 75-point dial here. While the shifting focuses aren't particularly fat in dial, the probability, like the functionality of these are pretty great. Sidestep is a good power to combine with telekinesis. Probability control is a great support power. She has the Avengers Initiative. And also point out that her espionage adds leadership to her package. I don't think the other one added anything. No, it didn't add anything. So you get leadership on top, traded leadership, you got telekinesis, and you got probability control across the board. Overall, a good supporter when you need all those powers to work for you with the Black Widow. All right, next up, figure number 6, the Widow's Recruit. Widow and Spy keywords is another one of the generics. Espionage, get close to the target. When Widow's Recruit starts the game, for all characters with this trait, choose an opposing character or a team ability. When Widow's Recruit uses poison, she deals penetrating damage to that character or opposing characters that can use that team ability. I feel like this espionage was supposed to be named Mission Objective, but either way, it's kind of similar in that vein. Penetrating poison on certain targets for 25 points with shape change and super senses is obnoxious. If you have the team for it, I say use her. Pretty solid character all in all. All right, next up, and one of my favorite villains, not the favorite, but one of, Taskmaster. He's got the Task Force, Assassin, and Soldier keywords. Mission objective, honing my skills. When another friendly character with a line of fire rolls a d6, you may place a die on this card. When with that result, replacing any die already here. When Taskmaster would roll a single d6, you may instead remove the d6 from this card and use that result. And he does have Blades, Claws, and Fangs, and super senses throughout the dial. 50 points with leadership and a wild card team ability. It's a shame he's not a spy. He's an assassin and a soldier because there's a lot of really cool spies that are looking neat for this. He's okay. It's a common version of something we'll see later on. It's not your typical Taskmaster, but overall, I'm pretty okay with him. And you know, the ability to, if they happen to have a 5/6 on their super senses and you snag that, I don't see why not. Or they get like a 4 or higher on their blades roll, take it. It's yours. I mean, they'll still get it, but you know, hold on to that. Or if they get like a 4 on their super senses and you want that for your blades. I think overall it's really cool. I just, you know, the character could stand to be a little bit more competitive, but that's gonna make some noise in your casual game. Sorry, I'm talking over Red Guardian, who's got the celebrity and soldier keywords. 2 sides of the coin is this trait. Red Guardian does not count against theme teams and can use willpower if your starting force includes a character named Black Widow, which makes up for the fact that he does not have Spy or Avengers. Special defense power, defend and invulnerability. Aside from that, this is a muscle dude. He's got enhancement. He's like a really good support. He's the guy you want beside you to increase your defense to 18 and to give your range attacks a little bit more damage. He's an okay character. 50 points is a little bit much, but this is a really cool tabletop or kitchen table character. All right, another piece of the Black Widow puzzle. Avengers and Spy on this one. Espionage where is it? if she's on a theme team, blah, 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 and an opposing character is generated. So if an opposing character is generated or placed on the map, if you meet the requirements for the espionage, which is if she's on a theme team or, you know, 2 characters from the set are on the team with her, after resolutions, both you and your opponent roll a d6. If the result is higher, give that character 2 action tokens. So what ends up happening is it really gets in the way. If you see your opponent is creating bystanders or generating characters off the map, or they're using their own shifting focus, you roll off, and if your result is higher, then you give them 2 action tokens, meaning they won't be able to do anything, which is usually one of the neat things about those types of characters is they do something immediately after coming in. So Black Widow could really throw a wrench in the works for that. She's also got Smoke Cloud as free. Opposing characters occupying her Smoke Cloud can't use improved abilities or team abilities. So if they see through hindering and you line it up, you're not going to be able to see through her stealth. And their team abilities are going to be worthless. So if you have the ability to see through the hindering on the Smoke Cloud, you throw somebody in the hindering, you can pop a Mystics character with no, you know, there's a lot of application of that. And of course, it's a very similar dial. Mostly the things that seem to be changing on her shifting focus are her late dial defenses. But I think across the board, she seems to be staying with, well, no, okay. I won't say anything, but it's usually 2 clicks to start with 1 power and then 3 clicks later on with another power. Avengers Initiative as well, so you know you don't have to worry about your hindering when you're moving through stealth. This is another cool piece of the big hole. Okay. Next up, the other Yelena Belova. This one's in the rare slot. Starting at figure 9, we're in the rare slots. We're with these smaller sets. Widows, Assassin, and Spy keyword. Espionage, defending the Widows. If Yelena is on a theme team, your maximum number of theme team probability control uses this game is 10 instead of 5. So on their own, between her and the Widow Initiate, you can get a couple of those and max out your 10 pretty easily. In fact, with her, it's 75, and one of those, that's 3 probs already on a Widow's theme team. Now, I do have to find out who is the one that made theme team or spy theme teams, name theme teams, but either way, I believe it's Spymaster, but I'm not 100% sure. Either way, so 10 uses of theme team prop can go a long way. And then her other trait, the old ways, stealth, plasticity. When Yelena Belova uses theme team probability control, she isn't given an action token. She basically takes it and uses it like prob on a normal. Never Good Enough is her special defense power on her first 3 clicks, which gives her defend and super senses, along with some late dial combat reflexes. 75 points is a little much for the package that you're getting, but stealth, plasticity when matched up with a very close combat focused character. She's got some perplex. There could be a really interesting spy theme team coming together with the package that we have here. So keep your eyes on it. Don't ignore this character or the Widow's Initiates. But overall, really cool character to really manipulate the theme team aspect of the game. Okay. Next, we have the Widow Spy. Widow and Spy keywords. Ignores characters for movement, hindering for line of fire. Espionage, find the weakness. If she's on a theme team or amidst the other things, she can use Outwit, but only to target adjacent characters. So, adjacent Outwit. Hiding in plain sight. Stealth and lines of fire drawn to Widow Spy are blocked if she's adjacent to printed hindering or printed blocking terrain. So she doesn't have to be in the hindering. She could be just outside of it, which is good because, you know, she doesn't like moving through hindering. 50 points. It's a 4-click dial. It's pretty, I'm going to call this a pretty okay character. Most of the time, you're not going to get line of fire to her, and then all of a sudden, she's going to be outwitting you and being a nightmare. But the point investment's a little high for what you're getting, so I'm going to put it in the solid okay market. Really good, again, for those casual Widows teams. All right. Next, Task Force Mercenary. This actually we didn't open. Oddly enough, when we were done opening our packs, we found 1 pack on the ground and we forgot to record opening this one. So this is brand new for this video. This is what happens when I dump all the contents of the box on Amber's head. Task Force Assassin and Soldier keyword. Mission objective: shock and awe. When Task Force Mercenary damages 2 or more opposing characters with an attack, after resolutions, give each hit character an action token. He does have energy, explosion, and quake before you ask. We can use more firepower, boss. If a friendly character has missed with an attack this turn, Task Force Mercenary modifies attack +1. Great. He's going to have like a 13 attack at all times, or a +3 to attack with me. So what we have is a 50-point character with 6 range, 2 targets, running shot, and energy explosion, which means he can trigger his extra action tokens pretty simply. He's got enhancement to go with the package. He's 50 points. This is a really good character. I like it a lot. The keywords soldier and assassin have some value to them. Task Force is pretty strict to the set, so I think that's what might keep him. But I'm not against Steve Rogers welcoming him to the Avengers or S.H.I.E.L.D., especially S.H.I.E.L.D. You can get that extra range to increase that 6 range. There's potential in the Task Force Mercenary. I'm going to give him a try in a few teams. Okay. This is the last piece of the Black Widow puzzle, and that is Black Widow with the Avenger Spy, shifting focus, and bait and switch is the espionage trait, which when she hits an opposing character that's equipped, both you and your opponent roll a d6. If your result is higher, equip that opposing equipment to a friendly character, even if it has equipped friendly. That is, I'm going to take that, and it's mine now, is pretty brutal. Kind of collector-esque, but not quite on the level of him. And then she's got the Eskrima Skirmish, Quake. When Black Widow uses it, after resolutions give each hit character an action token. So you don't even have to do the damage, which is fine. It lets you Quake characters with invulnerable. She has that throughout the dial. Exploit weakness, is it? I'm just having a little trouble with the color there. Yeah, because I'm looking through the camera too. Avengers initiative team ability. So the movement powers seem to change this time from charge to flurry. And then she has late dial combat reflexes. Again, as a whole, I think the shifting focus Black Widow has a lot of really cool tools and is worth considering, especially in a world once we enter the post-ID card world. Shifting focus is really strong to avoid colossal retaliations. You can switch out the character and they won't be able to attack the character who just attacked once they've been switched out. So they kind of actually become a brand new character. So yeah, worth consideration as a whole. And there's a lot of really cool counterpoints and offensive tricks that this Black Widow has. All right, next we have the Widow's Assassin. Assassin, martial artist keywords. Apex of training is the espionage. At the beginning of your turn, if Widow's is on a theme team or your starting force has more than of the character symbols, you may choose a standard power that a friendly character has printed on their card. Until your next turn, Widow's Assassin can use that power. She has 6 range, which is useful. She is traded with shape change and stealth, also awesome. 75 points. This has props somewhere in the late dial. 75 points for 5 clicks with super senses. You kind of have to rely on that first click in competitive play, though there's gonna be a lot of situations where occasional situations where you might see the prop, but count on that first click, which is what you really get value out of. For 75 points without Indomitable on this dial, I'm not hyped, but you do get to pick standard powers from friendly characters if you're picking a proper theme team. Oh, man, Assassin's Martial Art doesn't have Spy, which is in everything in this set. So that said, Martial Artist does have a lot of options for powers, and the fact that you can, say, find your willpower from somebody else, just in general, I think Widow's Assassin is cooler than she looks, if that makes any matter of sense. So I give her a thumbs up. It will be on very specific teams, but nothing wrong with that. All right, next up, Taskmaster. We've seen this guy before, but this is a different one. Task Force Assassin Soldiers keywords, ignores characters for line of fire. Mission objective, I am the mission. Leadership, but only if Taskmaster is on a theme team or your starting force has 2 other characters from the Black Widow set. When he uses it and succeeds, he may also remove an action token from a friendly character with a Task Force keyword, including himself. So if you do happen to build that soldier or assassin theme team, or even the Task Force theme team, you can get around that. Special attack power, the Panther's moves and his claws. Blaze Claws, Fangs, and Flurry. Free, make a close attack, but only to target an opposing character that missed Taskmaster since your last turn. He's got a special defense power, hundreds of perfectly replicated fighting styles. Toughness, willpower. At the beginning of your turn, choose combat reflexes or energy shield deflection or mastermind. Taskmaster can use the chosen power until your next turn. He is a wild card. This one is significantly better than the other one, but because he lacks a front-loaded movement attack, you are really requiring your opponent to miss you. Now, granted, you can help to arrange that with the 17 defense, adding either the energy shield or combat reflexes to the package. It's a shame he doesn't have front-loaded super senses to really get that going, which holds him back. But I'm still going to use him in the occasional game, weekly events, and casual games at my place. I like him. I wish there was a little bit more to him, but overall, I'm very, very much okay with this Taskmaster. All right, next we have the Red Guardian. Yeah, we're seeing him again. Celebrity Soldier Spy keywords. Fighting an entire squad is his first trait. So Spy lets him actually theme with our Black Widows now. Close. Make a close attack targeting up to 3 characters within 5 squares and line of fire, regardless of adjacency. Instead of normal damage, he deals his printed damage to each target. So let's just kind of look at his first click just to see how that looks. Sorry, I don't know why I went for the dial. 11 attack with 3 damage. And imagine that going on up to 3 characters. Very, very awesome power. So you could charge. There's a Captain America that did something very similar to this, and he turned out to be really good. So yes, this is a really good power and very functionally usable. It's a shame it's printed damage, but all things considered, you can make that work for you anyway. Not just a knockoff is a special damage power. Leadership, when Red Guardian uses it and succeeds, modifies combat values except damage by +1 until your next turn. So that could be like. So we could be attacking with a 12 attack on a good leadership roll. If he failed, choose an opponent chooses attack or defense, and he modifies that combat value +1 until the next turn. So you either get +1 to all your non-damage stats, or you get +1 to either attack or defense based on what your opponent wants. They're usually, depending on the distance, they're probably going to choose defense when they're close, attack when... That's just good. This guy's really good for 75 points with Indomitable. There's a lot of potential to this guy. So you could probably build a solid team with him in mind. And if I'm right about that spy named keyword character, that's really a neat thing. All right. I looked at this character and immediately thought this is probably the best character in the set. And it's the Chase. Black Widow. Avengers and Spy keywords still. Ignores elevated terrain for movement. She's got Avengers Initiative in case you're wondering about the hindering. Espionage. Patience. If Black Widow's on a theme team or your starting force has 2 other characters from the Black Widow set, I'm just going to read it out. It's not worth my time anymore. Standard characters can't have their attack rolls of 10 or more re-rolled, and opposing characters targeting those characters can't have their attack rolls of 4 or less re-rolled. So if you hit a 10 or higher, that's effectively a hit. Assuming that is what was required, because sometimes 10s or 11s won't hit. But you're getting that hit. It's not getting re-rolled with Black Widow on the board. Very cool. And this one's Espionage, Patience, and then Espionage and Opportunity. Stealth. Black Widow starts the game with 5 Tradecraft tokens. We've seen these in the Captain Marvel set, so let's see what these do this time. Free. Remove a Tradecraft token to choose an opposing character within 6 squares on line of fire. Until your next turn, that character can't use a standard power unless it's displayed on their dial as a colored square and can't have their combat values modified positively. Because of both parts of that, that's a really cool power. Special defense power, stop. When this power is first revealed, remove all of Black Widow's Tradecraft tokens and heal her that many clicks. And there's special damage power, which gives her leadership, outwit. Free, remove a Tradecraft token to generate a Widow's Initiate or a Widow's Recruit on click 1. Well, those characters just went up in value. So what did I say? It was Widow's Initiate and Widow's Recruits. So Initiate and the Recruit. All right, now let's double check there. All right, so this one, the trait, not as exciting, but if you're really looking for that Incapacitate or Close Combat Expert off the top, a little bit better. This one is probably the one you will want to create a few more. 3 clicks at 25 with 3 clicks of poison, which means she doesn't necessarily have to roll to make your damages. When she starts the game, so not at the beginning of the game, when she starts the game, you choose an opposing character, or that's why that is worded that way. So she'll start the game sometimes, courtesy of Black Widow, and she'll be able to come in and, if you're in the right position, poison or make an attack. And she has this damage. Black Widow has this damage power on her first 2 clicks, and you need to remove the Tradecraft token. So depending on how you plan on doing it, you could running shot create this character to be annoying to your opponent, or you could end up. Now here's the thing I like. Let's say you have this character and you look at these stats and you're like, oh my goodness. Now she does have stealth. Oh my goodness, she's gonna get hit and she's going to die. On let's say 1, 3, 4, 5, 6. You do take the 6 damage that it takes to get to that stop click. Well, you gain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So effectively they've done 1. They've taken away your tradecraft, but you haven't lost your 100-point investment. Avengers Initiate and the ability to create those recruits. I think there's a team for her, man. She's really good, and I think there's something to this Black Widow. Keep an eye on this figure just because of how flexible a lot of what she does is, and how cool a lot of what she does is. So eyes on this Black Widow. Is a lot of potential for her. A very cool sculpt too. Like kind of I'm gonna drop a Superman punch on you. Look. All right, and we've already saw Amber talk about it, but let's bring it up again. It's the Black Widow on the motorcycle. This is sold separately in this little box here. So you'll end up having to get this separate of the set. But we have espionage, secret mission, hypersonic speed. So she's traded with hypersonic. When Black Widow uses it and hits with a close attack, if she's on a theme team or you have 2 characters from the Black Widow set, after resolutions, you may place the hit character in any square she moved through after the attack. If you do, deal them 1 penetrating damage. So you could get a hypersonic, and she does. Let's look at the top click. I'm not going to mess with this. The top click does have 3 damage with precision strike. You're probably going to be able to do the damage. There's a lot of potential to that power on its own. Just enough gas in the tank once per game. Half speed and then move. This is a free, by the way. When Black Widow leaves the map, generate a heavy object in one of her squares. Protected pulse wave. Time to get off the bike. During forest construction, you may include a character named Black Widow of 75 points or less on your sideline. The first time Black Widow would be KO'd, instead replace her with that Black Widow on its last non-KO click and roll a d6 and heal that Black Widow half the result. This game, that Black Widow can't be healed any other way. Protected pulse wave. Very cool. I am not 100% sure, so I have to double check because of the way this is worded. I want to look into whether or not I can now replace with one of my shifting focus Black Widows. Let's say one I don't want to be on the board anymore. And then shifting focus onto that one. And now that one can be healed. And now this one is the one that can't be healed. So if I have a way to heal, say, this one back to full health, I'm wondering if that interaction works. So we have to look into the sideline rules of that. Either way, because of that manipulatability, that's a hard, solid maybe. But for 75 points, with traded hypersonic to go with everything that we see here, I'm going to say she's... I mean, it's only traded hypersonic. Yeah, it is traded hypersonic in general. So, and ignores characters, which is important for hypersonic because nobody likes that roll of 1. So overall, I like it. And it doesn't have the complication of the vehicle rules, which makes it new player friendly. So yeah, overall, some really cool stuff. This is probably one of the coolest... movie sets I've seen in a while, and even with the simplicity of it all, I say there's a lot of playable figures in this, especially once you start including the rest of the game in there. All right, guys, have a good one, and thanks again to Wizkids for providing us with the awesome Black Widow set. Looks like a countertop display, gets you one of everything, and you know, you'll be raring to go to your events with some cool Black Widow figures. All right, have a good one, guys.